This is Jess with the Bourbon Betters coming to you with a review from Saturday's game and a preview from Sunday's games. Let's start off with a review from Saturday's game. Start off with number 7 Dayton versus Arizona. I told you that Arizona was going to advance, and they did. And I told you to bet the 9.5 with Dayton, but Arizona won by 10, so that was a miss. The next game was Gonzaga against Kansas. I thought Kansas was going to win. They did not. I told you to take the 3.5 plus 3.5 with Kansas, and they lost by a huge amount. I mean, it was a blowout. And then I told you to take Dickinson over 17.5, and I think he hit 13. Next, we had Michigan State against UNC. I said UNC would advance, and they did. And I told you Bacot was going to have over 13.5. He had over 18. And then the next game we had Washington State versus Iowa State. Iowa State advanced like I said they would. I also told you to take Washington State under 61.5, and they were under. So that one hit. Next game was Oakland and NC State. That was a good game. It was a back and forth, and then NC State finally got it at the very end. I thought that Oakland would advance. They did not, so that was a miss. And I told you to take Oakland on the money line, so of course that was a miss as well. But it was paying really well, so I thought that was the way to go. And then I said that I can't even pronounce his name. Goldklee was going to have over 3.5 threes, and he had either 6 or 7, so that hit. The next game was Texas and Tennessee. I said Tennessee was going to advance. They did. And I told you to take Connect to make over 2.5 threes, and he only made 1. So that was a miss. Next, you have Duquesne and Illinois. I said that Illinois was going to advance. They did. I told you to take Grant for Duquesne under 16.5. I think he had 4 or 6. And then I told you to take Shannon Jr. for Illinois over 23.5, and he had 30. The next game, the last game of the night, which went into double overtime, was Oregon and Creighton, with Creighton pulling it out in double overtime. I told you that Creighton was going to advance, and I told you to take them minus 5.5, and those both hit. So yesterday was a pretty good day for me. We had the Saturday round alone for just advances. I went 6-2. The 8 games, I picked 6 of them correct to move forward, bringing my total for the tournament to 24-20. And then for the bets that I told you to take yesterday, I went 6-4, bringing the tournament total to 20-26. All right, now let's look at today's games, Sunday's games. It's going to be round 2, Sunday's games in the NCAA tournament. It's going to start off with Colorado and Marquette. That's number 10 Colorado, 26-10 versus number 2 Marquette, 26-9. Marquette is a 3.5 point favorite. The over/under is 147.5. Colorado defeated Florida 102-100, and Marquette defeated Western Kentucky 87-69. I've got Marquette advancing. I want to take the over, but I don't feel super confident with it. But I definitely think Marquette will advance. But I'm not telling you to bet the over. If you want to bet over under on that game or have some action in that game, that's something that I would do. Look at is that over under. Like I said, it's at 147.5. Next game is going to be Utah State and Purdue. 8 Utah State against number 1 Purdue. Utah State's 28-6. Purdue is 30-4. Purdue is an 11.5 point favorite, and over under is 148.5. Utah State defeated TCU 88-72 to get here, and Purdue defeated Grambling 78-50. Purdue advances. They're going to beat Utah State, and Edey is going to have over 25.5 points. It's just pure mismatch, and I mean he's been scoring lights out here lately, so 25.5. He probably have upwards of 30, if not over 30. for this game, and he's going to get so many rebounds. Utah State's not a good rebounding team, so Edey will eat them up on the boards and just put back things like that. Next game is going to be James Madison, number 12 seed, 31-3, versus number 4 seed Duke, 25-8. Duke is a 7-point favorite, and the over/under is 148.5. James Madison defeated Wisconsin 72-61. Duke defeated Vermont 64-47. This is a tough game for me to pick. Duke did look good. James Madison's looked good all year. I'm going to say that Duke's going to advance, but it's a tough pick for me. But I do think in the end, Duke's just got too much talent, and they're going to move forward. Next game will be Clemson, number 6 seed, 22-11, against the number 3 seed Baylor, 24-10. Baylor's a 4.5-point favorite, and the over/under is 144.5. Clemson defeated New Mexico, who I was really high on, and they beat them pretty good, 77-56. And Baylor defeated Colgate 92-67, and just pretty much dominated that whole game for them. I'm going to say Baylor advances. I'm going to take the over at 144.5. So Baylor advances, and the over is what you want in that game. Now the next game we got is Grand Canyon, 30-4, 12 seed against Alabama, 4 seed, 22-11. Alabama is a 6.5-point favorite. Over/under is 169.5. GCU defeated St. Mary's 75-66. Alabama defeated College of Charleston 109-96. Alabama advances in this one, but take GCU plus the 6.5. I think it's going to be a close game. And Grant Foster is going to have over 20.5 points. So take the over at 20.5 for Grant Foster for GCU. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. 130 points is a lot, though, so I'd stay away from the over, the total over. But once again, Alabama advances. GCU, take GCU plus the 6.5, close game, and take GCU's Grant Foster at over 20.5 points. Northwestern's the next game, number 9 Northwestern, 22-11 against number 1 UConn, 32-3. UConn is a 14.5-point favorite. The over/under is 135.5. Northwestern defeated FAU 77-65, while UConn defeated Stetson 91-52. UConn advances in this one. They're rolling just like they did last year. I think the guards at Northwestern are better than Stetson's guards, and people thought that Stetson's guards were going to be a problem for UConn. So Northwestern might make a little bit of a game of it, but I think UConn in the end just rolls. The next game after that is Texas A&M, number 9 seed, 21-14 against Houston. They're a 9.5-point favorite. The over/under is 134.5. Texas A&M defeated Nebraska 98-83. Houston defeated Longwood 86-46. Houston advances in this one. I don't have any other action in that game. And then the final game of the day is going to be Yale and San Diego State University. Yale's the 13 seed at 23-9. San Diego State's 25-10, number 5 seed. And San Diego State is a 5.5-point favorite, and the over/under is 128.5. Yale defeated Auburn 78-76, while San Diego State defeated UAB 69-65. I've got San Diego State advancing, and Yale, you're going to take the under. Team total under is 61.5 for Yale. So San Diego State advances and take the under at 61.5. With Yale, that's all 8 games today. A pretty good day yesterday. Let's see if we keep this rolling. Y'all have a good day.